Welcome back. The one thing no one told me about concussion recovery is that you can feel fine and still be one tiny task away from crashing. And once I finally understood that, everything changed. Whether we realize it or not, after a concussion, your brain is talking to you all day long. The problem is it does not speak in clear sentences, it speaks in signals, subtle ones at first. A little pressure in your head, losing your train of thought. Your eyes get tired. The feeling where things are just a little too much. And many of us, especially in the beginning, miss those signals, not because we're careless, but because we're used to pushing past discomfort. We're used to finishing things. We're used to trusting that if we can keep going, we should. So we don't respond to the whisper, and then the brain has to get louder. That's when the crash comes, the fog, the exhaustion, the shutdown. At that point, it's no longer a whisper, it's a command. Micropacing is really about changing that dynamic. It's learning how to hear the whisper and respond before it turns into a shout. Instead of thinking about micropacing as a technique or strategy, I want you to think about it as having a conversation with your brain. In my own experience, those early signals were often easy to ignore. They did not feel urgent. They did not feel serious enough to stop what I was doing. In fact, a lot of the time, I thought to myself, I'm fine, I can keep going. Learning to pause at the first signal your brain sends you is the key to preventing overload. And many of us know that recovering from overload takes time. It drains your system and can disrupt your entire day. So, if you are doing something and notice that first shift, maybe your focus begins to slip, or you begin to feel pressure in your head, or your eyes begin to hurt. Instead of finishing the task, take a pause, step away, reduce the sensory input, give your brain space to rest. And then, when you're ready, you can resume your activity again. This rhythm will look different for everyone. If you are early in your recovery, that cycle might be much shorter. If you are further along, you may not need as many breaks, but the principle remains the same. Listen early, respond early. I want to acknowledge that this can feel very frustrating, especially if you are highly motivated and accustomed to pushing through fatigue to get things done. The hardest part of this isn't the physical act of slowing down, but the mental shift. Micropacing is a deliberate decision to work as a partner with your nervous system instead of fighting it. And it certainly is easier said than done. Every time you choose to pause before a headache or brain fog sets in, you are actively helping your brain to mend. Micropacing interrupts that cycle and keeps the brain operating comfortably under its current ceiling. It's important to emphasize that this only works if the break involves a genuine reduction in sensory input. So, no texting, no scrolling, put the phone down. When I made the shift from fighting my limits to working with them, things began to stabilize. The crashes lost intensity, and I noticed my brain's capacity to handle input expanded. To give a practical example, instead of organizing my closet in one afternoon, I broke it down into smaller tasks over several days. And that is the real goal here. We are not chasing a flawless, productive day. We are trying to build a stable, dependable baseline that we can trust. Wherever you are in your healing journey, you can tailor this to your exact capacity. Shorter intervals if your brain needs them, longer stretches if your system is ready. Take a single task you would normally try to power through all at once and divide it into micro steps. The win is not doing more, the win is giving your brain a chance to recover. That's micro pacing, and it can change everything. As always, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace today, and I'll see you next time.